welcome to JB Trio Podcast, Season 10, Episode 18. I'm Lee McDonald Jr.
Chris, the still banned Woodmansey.
Mark, the Ancient Warrior Merchants.
And this is our series finale. So this is the last JB Trio Podcast that we are doing. We've got some friends on with us. We got Mr. Buford, or a.k.a. Gilbert Peterson. We've got MVP Chris Saunders with us. And we got the new secretary, Mr. Kyle Howell, with Tracy on as well. Glad everybody's able to join. Yeah, so we're just going to pretty much go over this last episode, talk about some old times, talk about how the JB Trio this previous season ended. We got one more week, which is pretty much sweeper week or fun week. So we'll hopefully have fun there. We got Joey Robb coming back. Now, I know last year we had a little mix-up with the laptop and caused everybody to stay late. He promises not to do that again, and we're going to run a much smoother ship this time, get everybody signed up early. We're going to all show up at the bowling alley at 8:30. So show up early to collect your money and sign-ups for the sweeper night, which is going to be a.k.a. Joey's sweeper, like he does on Wednesdays and Saturdays. But yeah, so how's everybody doing?
Good. I'm interested to hear Chris Saunders' explanation of how he turned that second half around.
I think Mark has a suspicion on what major change happened to you, Chris.
Yeah, I want to take credit for it just being a really, really focused and disciplined bowler, but, Mark may have a point. I'm not sure.
Yeah, some major event happened. He separated from a certain bowler. I wonder who that bowler was.
Yeah, so I believe it was like the power of all the Chris's. Since the alley sends only one Chris there, it generated all the power towards him. So basically, since I wasn't there, I wasn't taking the power. So he just gave it to Chris. So
he had
I passed on the power to Chris. So
he passed on the nuts.
Yeah.
I think he was going to give half his MVP money to Tina.
Well, it could be. I will say this.
He might make an appearance.
I will say this for Woodmansey. When I had to separate Chris Saunders and his new team's money, well, I say his new team, but his team has been bowled on for this half. He earned more money than his wife and his brother, who is on his teammates right now, because his old team actually placed better in the first half.
Yeah, see, it just goes to show that our team was better.
It was a dream team. Whatever could have thought.
Whoever could have thought, yeah. Yeah, we had some good times in that dream team. You guys remember any major wins or certain teams that you beat up on in that first half? Any team that stands out?
God, didn't we win the first week, Chris? Or no, very first week, like 42?
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, we won the first week. We won against. We got balls. That was a really ballsy win for us.
Yeah, it was like our first one. Then we went downhill for like a couple weeks.
It took a lot of balls. Yeah. So you guys were in first place the first week, and then after that, it was a tank.
Not first, but we were like in the top two.
Yeah.
Three.
So you guys were team 3, and team 4 would have been who you bowled against, and that's Brian Brimmerman and Matthew Macy. Yeah, that team.
Ironic,
That is ironic. I didn't want to say that.
Ironic, I got banned before we went against them.
It is ironic. I would agree. I would have to agree. But yeah, we had definitely a lot of memories this past season. And well, just to kind of make some memories, let's go over the fastest 3 minutes in bowling here real quick. So this is our last fastest 3 minutes than ever. Thank you for that glorious intro, Chris. So
I didn't do it.
Let's go from reverse order. So we'll get to, well, I don't want to say the lousy teams, but let's get reverse order. Team 12, we had Pin Hot, Craig, Gino, and Tina. Well, whoever picked them to win, you lost and beat Mark Spix because they got picked by the blind. So unfortunately, it was a rough night for them on 31-32. And they only won 20 out of 48, so they lost. Next pair was Mustache Ride. We just talked about them. They went up against Housequake. Housequake with the victory. Tracy, you got the victory on the last week. Good job.
We did.
What happened on that pair? Tell us how you guys bowled.
Honestly, I thought when we ended, it was a true kiss your sister.
It was close.
Because I want to say in ultimately it was by 1 pin.
Oh my God! Wow, that's how bowling go. Come down to 1 pin. And
Hey, we have the famous Miss Howell.
we do. We have the famous Miss Powell. She's our new first lady.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we have elected a new leader, and
I haven't seen her nor talked to her in so long.
yep,
You missed me.
Oh my God, we missed you. Oh my God.
yeah. And so yeah, you guys won. So it was a good ending to the season for you guys. Ending, I guess officially next week is fun week. So yeah, good ending for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And next pair we
Was
got.
it a happy ending?
Oh God. Kyle, anything?
It was an ending.
I think we're talking
Now
about happy ending.
it wasn't ending, right? You said ending.
We must be talking about Kyle. Kyle, happy ending.
You said ending. You said it was a good ending. I just want to clarify. Was it a happy ending?
All right. No comment from Kyle, huh?
She was sleeping with her coach.
Oh,
Nice.
That's a good one. I love it. All right. I thought I saw one other guy though giving her pointers, but never mind. That's
So you're saying Kyle got lucky?
yes. Kyle got very lucky. All right. Next pair we've got Team 5 Sisters. This is the MVP going against his family members. Almost Empty Nest. That's mom and dad and auntie. The Davises. Well, Chris, why don't you tell us what happened?
Well,
Well,
They-
it was
they-
pretty complex, so I went in there gun blazing, and I just didn't know what to do.
Wait a minute, is
So
this
I
Chris?
called Chris Woodmansey.
no, it's not the real Chris. It's not the real
I
Chris.
called him up. I was like, "Hey, Chris Woodmansey, you're the best bowler here. So how do I bowl in these lanes?" I'm like,
So, how do I lose on these lanes? It's exactly what
Chris
happened.
said, "Hey, you can't beat me. You can't beat me. So just try your best to pretend you're me." That's what he
And I did. Yeah. I will say this: they bought us alcohol, and it was probably a ploy, but we fell for it, and it was totally fine. And you know, it's not like we'd be any worse. You know, we knew what they were doing, but we let them have it. You know, they're getting up there in years, and oh my God, no.
And the kids went to grandma and grandpa, so the kids were with them, and you guys were basically a free night and getting drunk.
Basically, yeah. We leveraged it for babysitting. That's what happened.
There we go. So the night ended for them with Almost Empty Nest killing it. They won 44-48. So it was a major victory for them. Hopefully, Sisters don't drop too far before them. We'll see. We'll see here in a minute. All right, next pair. So Mark's team number 2, we got balls against Team 10. So Camilla, Jose, and Mike. Mark, Kyle, why don't you guys tell us how your guys' night went?
Hey, look, at all I can say is we needed to win 14, all of them. Was it 14? All that last game?
14. We needed to win 14,
To hold
And
on
we-
to fifth.
and up until at the end of the second game, we'd only had 2 points.
Wow.
So we needed to win the whole third game.
So you just needed to win 14 total.
Right.
Just 14 total the whole night. Just 14.
So they took the
Guess
loss
what?
during Beat Mark's picks, if whoever picked them, but they got what they needed. They won 14 out of 48. So kudos to you guys. Y'all,
Wait, how did they get the points?
well,
We won the third game, all 3 of us.
they knew that they were shut out of 4th place. The team they were bowling against, it was basically them going heads up to see who's going to be in 5th. The advantage was Camilla's team up going into the 3rd game. Mark's team and Kyle's team needed all 12 points to win because they had only taken 2 up until that point. So to reach 14, they needed all 12, and by gum, they got it. They lost every total point. They were shut out of total. They got beat that bad. So they couldn't win any individual series or game. So it literally come down to that 1/3 game and they got it. So they beat all their people, and they won the game by 12. And with their 2 points, that gave them the 14. So they won 5th place. Well, we'll talk about placement here in a minute.
Yeah, I think it came down to like the 10th frame, really.
Did it really?
Did.
Wow.
Did Mark use the old man card to make them win the last third game?
Hey, let's just say Mike Lang let me win that third game because he opened in the 10th.
And he probably felt sorry for y'all because y'all were both like up in that age.
It was kind of funny because we were down, and then I said, let's not pull a Woodmansey, and then all of a sudden...
That old phrase, our favorite old phrase from previous seasons.
I don't even know what that phrase is.
Oh, man. So, Mark's team squeaked out the amount of points they needed, but they come up with an L, and they lost 34 out of 48 to Camilla's team. But Camilla's team could not take advantage of that, so they got stuck at 6th place. But the next pair, though, as Gilbert will say, was a dogfight, or at least he'll say, something along the lines of a 4-letter word. But Gilbert, why don't you tell us how you guys bowled up against Three Fingers Deep?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it's a forgettable night.
I don't recall.
So y'all bowled.
Yeah, I think I don't know.
Y'all bowled just good enough.
On the low side.
Yes. Y'all bowled just good enough to lose with dignity.
We sure could have used TJ. He was seeing.
He did have his.
Probably TJ was bowling the blind.
Yeah. If y'all would have taken his blind, it would have been better.
Well, listen. TJ was bowling a blind.
Oh, that's right.
But
it was a no-show.
Yeah, and he was seeing double vision though. I don't know if you guys have ever tried to bowl while seeing with double vision, but he had a rough night. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, yes, he did.
I thought he was trying to bowl with with the finger and a thumb. That's what got him.
It could have been, or at least a ball that had a thumb. So yeah, it was a rough night. You guys didn't bowl bad. You and Neil bowled pretty decent. Just unfortunately, George and Andre just bowled really good.
No. George got me by George once again took me the first game, but then I pulled my head out of my ass and bowled well the next 2 games. So
there you go. Neil bowled.
George and I went head to head again. My old nemesis.
Yes, he is. And Neil bowled pretty good. He shot 705 for a pretty good night. But Andre bowled better. He had 722. But the next pair was
some good bowls.
The next pair was my pair. All right, so my team, Hawk to a Whap, which we all know what that means, bowled against the ball team. Exactly. Bowled against the Ball Founders, the best team in the league. And Ball Founders beat us, but thankfully, since we had a 50-point lead, we did not need a single point to claim first place. So that was the best thing going into the night. So we only won a little bit. We tried to bowl our best to help whoever was in third to take second, but it didn't help them at all. So, but thankfully we ended up locking in first place. Whoever picked my team for Beat Mark's picks did not win that night, on my pair at least. I bowled 681 though. I ended up winning all the brackets, even against Neil and Andre, even though they bowled better. I had more handicap, as Mark would like to say. I'm a best sandbagger in the league, of course.
Yes, you are.
So the standings, the final standings are for the second half. Hawk to a Whap ends up winning first place in the second half. Thank God. Ball Founders were coming on strong. What?
On a recount.
Oh, I thought you said I was breaking up. So the Ball Founders ended up taking second place at 519. Our team took 549. Three Fingers Deep squeaked out third place at 498. Long Live Rockin' fourth, 485. We got balls, 479 in fifth. Here for the Beer, 1 point behind them, 478 in sixth place. Almost Empty Nest past Sisters. I'm sorry, Chris Saunders. They are at 423. You guys are in eighth, though, at 400. Mustache Ride was right behind you, ninth place at 390. Followed by Housequake in 10th at 371.
What?
And Pin High, unfortunately, in last place, only had to beat the blind to get out of there, but they couldn't. They're at 358. Well, that is the last standings of this podcast. So how does everybody think about that?
Sucky.
Sucky. Why, my team won?
No, I wasn't part of it.
Yeah, that's true. It was sucky. What does Chris Jr. think about that?
I mean, I can't help on the standings. All I can help is bowling, maybe a team sport, but I was more for the individual.
Yes, you were. There you go. So, Joe Bear?
It was. Hey, Joe Bear.
Joe Bear, how do you feel about the season ending?
No, I had a good time. It always is. It's good to get away. Tuesday night's my night to get away.
He always says that to me.
got better
Don't forget that. I'm like, okay, great.
It was a better time that now that,
Somebody got banned.
Chris was banned. Yeah, no, that's second
Oh, shit. Chris was banned?
second half was
What?
spectacular.
When did this happen?
I guess, according to them, not soon enough.
It's all in fun, Chris.
I miss y'all too.
Mark, how do you feel about the season?
It was long.
Long?
Yeah.
I thought you meant it was shorter because Chris wasn't there.
Was it long like your lifespan been?
It was long. I'll tell you, I think where we went wrong is we didn't sandbag early enough like you guys did.
Oh, yes. Me and Peyton, man, we're the most improved bowlers. We need to put like an award for most improved bowlers.
That's the most improved sandbaggers. Come on.
Are we allowing these teams to be in first?
Allowing? Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, you do the books. It's like creative bookkeeping.
Oh,
Mark
no,
had it first.
I can't even remember the first time we talked about that. That was probably about 4 or 5 seasons ago. Creative bookkeeping? Yeah, that was a good term.
Mark says it at least one time in the podcast.
I know a lot of y'all have, of course, listened to all the previous seasons, right? So if we had to go over some of the more memorable phrases that we had, anybody remember have any phrases that jump out?
Nope, can't think of nothing.
Like handicap management.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Creative bookkeeping.
Mark had come up with one of the best ones of the previous. Is I pulled a woodmansey.
Nope. Mm-hmm.
I pulled a woodmansey. That's like the oldest phrase in the book.
I don't know.
That's the best.
That's when you foul.
Oh,
we even come up with a trophy for that, the Woodmansey Award. And Tracy,
I had no say in that.
Tracy, you're the one that did that award. Actually, I'm glad you're here. How did you make those awards?
The wood burned ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have a Cricut and it cuts out the vinyl. So then I would cut the vinyl and basically do a reverse of what I wanted to wood burn onto the wood. And then I have a solution I use for wood burning on it.
Nice.
To keep it simple, I guess.
Now, you've made quite a few.
They came out great.
Anybody that gets those awards, they're toxic.
Are they?
Mark, you're only saying that, Mark. You never got one.
Oh.
Listen, we
I've got a couple.
Yeah.
But we
got a couple.
We were grand champions. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
They did get
I
one.
was gonna make a champion belt out of the ones I got.
Yeah, but Mark doesn't have a Coke bottle one.
Yeah, I got the Coke bottle one.
That was you. She burned
I wouldn't be.
No. It's yeah.
I like how Joe Bear said, yeah, I got one.
But I'm about to work on getting the plaques for Tuesday night made tomorrow.
Yeah, we got a big night coming up. We got to see who's the grand champion of. Well, I guess we can't really say grand champion, just the regular champion, because to have a grand champion, as some of you have heard in the previous seasons, you got to be winners of both halves. Mark, I think your team was the last grand champion. Is that right?
We were, and the one before that was the Prides.
David Pride, yeah. When he bowled with his two sons, David Jr. and Andrew, was the last time. Did everybody remember that team name?
Don't suck balls.
Yeah. What was their team name, Mark? Do you remember their team name?
I could have sworn that was it.
I thought it was Team Pride, but maybe I'm wrong.
Wasn't it Team Dad or just Dad?
Ball
DAD?
gaggers. Ball gaggers.
Oh, yeah. That was whenever we made a wager if Chris renamed your team.
It was fuck you, Chris, right? Wasn't it fuck you, Chris?
Oh, wait a minute.
Speaking
Who did that? Who did that? What?
Yeah,
the lady that named
there's
that.
a team that says fuck you, Chris. Or
But what
That was
lady
actually
did
me.
that? Wasn't there a lady that named it that? Wasn't it Ricky's mom?
yeah, Chris. Yeah, it was like something F you, Chris.
Yeah, I forget. I forget who. I'm pretty sure it was Jerry.
It was Chris is an ass.
Chris is
Chris is an ass. That's it.
Wow,
Yes.
wow, how? Wow, you would remember that.
He said, "Wow."
Well, they still say that when you're not even there.
No, speaking of F.U. Chris, actually, Tina just brought this up to me just now. She's right here.
Tina.
Hi.
Hi.
So she actually mentioned that out of all the hosts for this podcast, Chris is the only one not to reach first place.
Oh,
Is that right?
Yes, that is something.
Like, what, Chris? You're Chris? Like, he's the Chris Saunders, Chris? Like, we're talking about Chris Saunders, Chris. Like,
Well, I mean, I'm
your
not the
name is
host.
also
Generally. I know, but she was just making the observation.
all the hosts came in
That's a
second.
great
I came in
observation.
second. I came in second.
Yeah, you were in first place all the way through.
A lot,
You,
a
Brian,
lot.
and Kristen.
I came in second a lot of times. I came in
wouldn't
second in
even-
summer.
No one remembers second.
Yeah,
No one remembers second.
Yes,
Yeah, you're as good as a Buffalo Bill, but
second. I always
Buffalo Bills.
Whatever. Shout out to Andy Ticker, the #1 Bills fan. But I got Peyton here. Peyton is a bowler of ours as well. Peyton, Mark says that the only reason why we won the league is because we're the best sandbaggers in the league.
Yeah.
and Peyton sucks.
He ain't lying. That's what he said.
No, do you know what, though?
So wait,
Lee, you ended up 9 pins under your entering average at the end of the season.
Oh, 9? Jesus.
Yeah, and you started off 20 below your average.
damn.
I wouldn't believe it.
Were you below average?
Hey, but if I had to say anything, we definitely had a rougher start at the beginning of the season, both seasons.
Why? Were you guys bowling on different lanes that we bowled on? I mean, I don't understand that.
Yes.
Possibly.
And guys, y'all forget every night he added 4 points to his team.
Oh, that creative bookkeeping win.
Yeah.
I will say, you guys got better when Chris got banned, too.
At least I don't see how that's possible. I don't see how that.
You get better.
Well,
That motivated us.
the morale of going to the bowling alley every night, knowing that I won't be there.
The
Very
moron?
depressing for a lot of
Lee, you've got to mention who got the award for most pins over their average or something series wise.
that was me.
Remember that?
Most over average. That is the bowler of the year.
Whatever. You had like 600 something, and you got the biggest spread or something, the largest, most pins over their average.
I actually got beat out of that, thank God, because I'd be so embarrassed to claim bowler of the year 170 pins over my average with just a 695. I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty horrible.
How much did you get beat out of? How much did you lose by?
Only 4 pins. That was 174. Thank God for George. He had to bowl a 762 to get 174, and I only had to bowl a 695 to get 170 over mine. So I'm thanking George with everything I got that he beat me, so I don't claim that honor, because that was probably the sorriest 675 I ever bowled. And actually, you know what? Just to go over those awards. So George, we just discussed his bowler of the year with 174 over his series. High averages go to Ron Reynolds. He had 209 for the year. Camilla bowled 177 average to finish off the year. Her one that deserves the accolades and the applause.
Exactly.
Mark's favorite subject, the most improved male, does not go to me or Peyton. It actually goes to Brandon Jolly on the toughest team of the league, the Ball Founders. He had 35 pins over his starting average. So kudos to Brandon for being the most improved bowler. He definitely is, too. He's a great bowler now. Tina Clay finished off 9 pins higher than her starting average. So good job, Tina. And for the most important, the biggest award that we can give to an individual in any season that we just started last year, we have our former and our current MVP. This means that you have won the most individual points out of your team or any team that you bowl on, because we have a winner that actually had two different teams, which is tough to do if you consider. Mr. Chris Saunders wins MVP for the year.
Thank you. Oh my God, so many people to thank. So many people to thank. I want to thank Lee, for being a great secretary. Chris, everybody ragging on you just takes the heat off of me. So thanks for being the punching bag. Oh my God.
You're welcome.
Like Mark, I can't help enough to try to prove you right every single week that we will win or lose. I hope we help a lot and beat Mark's picks. But, you just everybody. I'm really this is like the biggest award of my bowling career, and I couldn't have done it in a better league. The league actually means a lot to me, so I appreciate you.
I want to hear from the MVP's wife, Tina. What do you think?
Oh man, let's use such a. No, we got kids. Mark's got balls. We got kids, and so we gotta step away for those things. But he wants to know. He wants to know how you feel about me picking MVP.
Tina. So my husband, it's so great. I'm so proud of him.
All right, let's hear.
He works so hard.
All right,
Certainly doesn't sound like my wife.
Let's hear the real Tina now.
I took it last year, if you remember.
Oh, you did?
So,
See what I tell you? See?
So she's saying that she took it first, so that makes her better.
yeah.
I took it in a more competitive division.
I'm just happy we got money. So
I think anything the wife can do, he can do better.
Sadly, but it's just what I say, guys.
it's taking a couple tries before it goes out.
That's with everything.
Yeah, he's saying that Tina won it with how many points, but how many points did he do it with, though? He took 176.
But you know what? He wouldn't have done it without the band.
Oh. So you're saying if Chris and Chris bowl together for the second half, that things may end up different, huh?
Absolutely.
It's hard to tell.
Or maybe Chris Woodmansey would have been MVP. What about that?
Yeah.
The real MVP, huh?
I probably would have been up there.
So Woodmansey's the real MVP for sacrificing himself. So that Chris Saunders could
it's like baseball. It's like baseball. You're on third base, and we need to win. I'm going to sacrifice pop fly.
I just want to make one more point, since everybody seems to want to diminish my accolade here. I would say that I did it as anchor like the whole year, going up against statistically the hardest bowlers on every single team. So just so everyone knows.
Wow, and that's true. Even with Woodmansey on his team, he was the anchor bowler on that night. So yeah, good job.
Yeah, and he never fouled.
I never foul too.
Never. No.
I never foul unless I'm posing a picture of me fouling.
Never fouling 8 times in one night. Never.
Never happened.
Never. So there it is. Mr. Chris Saunders is MVP of GB Trio 24-25 season, with honorable mention to second place winner Lee McDonald Jr. at 170, and Kyle right behind him at 168, tied with Brandon 168. So, but kudos must go to the actual winner, Chris Saunders.
Nice. Good job, Chris.
Thank you.
Well, for the ladies,
Congratulations, Chris Saunders.
thank you. And for the ladies MVP, and if anybody had any doubts, Mrs. former First Lady Camilla Woodmansey took female MVPs this year, taking it off of Tina Saunders, who won it last year. Camilla was truly a great bowler this year. It's too bad she's not here to claim her own accolades.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Hey guys. Nice
All
knowing
right,
you.
Camilla, you're here. We're so glad you won MVP. How do you feel?
I don't know. I feel like a dude. I just don't understand. But thank you. Thank you
How's
so
it
much.
feel to be married to Chris?
Amazing. He's a great guy, and y'all all should thank him for bringing us together and having him not be a part of the bowling community made y'all stronger and
Did you
better.
say that you two came together?
Yes, he came in me.
Whoa. God, yeah. Oh. Well, Camilla, I didn't know you were that graphic. Why
Oh
don't you,
yeah, very yeah.
why
Yeah,
don't you
we
tell
don't
us?
hide nothing here.
Why don't you tell us who in the second half was your favorite bowler?
The second half
Yeah.
will gotta be.
And I point out the second half for a reason.
Oh, the 9. Okay, yeah.
Not the
okay,
9.
Okay.
We were missing a bowler in the second half. That's why. But who was your favorite bowler in the second half? Was it? It had to be David Pride, right?
No, not David. Gotta be Jose. Jose Beltre.
Ah, Jose. Okay. Well, thank you for joining us, Camilla. I'm sure your husband would be very appreciative of you. We'll talk to him when he comes back.
Of course. Thank you, Lee. Yeah.
Hey, Lee,
Yeah.
I think her favorite player was Flavio.
Oh yeah, Favolo. That's who he was.
Favolo is Favolo.
Oh, Chris, you're back. Hey.
Oh yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Your wife joined us for a second there.
Oh, she didn't. Man, I had to take a crap. Damn it. I need to stop doing that.
Yeah, I think I agree. So those are our individual awards that we had for the year. Last week, real quick, Andre ended up bowling bowler of the week for that week. He had 107 over his average. Christian Breakus kicked our butt when he bowled for the Ball Founders. So kudos to him. He was at 102. I was at 99 over, so I tried to match him, but he beat me. For the ladies, Anna Marie Davis last week was bowler of the week, 29 pins over. All right, I'm going to put that standing sheet aside. Why don't we go over another thing real quick? Mark, you got the final results, and I hear there's some controversy for beat Mark's picks.
You know what? There is a first. A first.
Wow, I like how his mic breaks out when he's probably talking about.
No, this is a first ever. Somebody went 0 for 6.
Whoa, no way.
Yes. Lee, you went 0 for 6.
Oh, my God. What?
Lee sucks.
Wait a minute. What? Wait a
0
minute.
for 6.
So does that mean I forfeit my first place?
No, here it is. You're 0 for 6, so it leaves your record at 61 wins, 41 losses. That's a 59.8 winning percentage.
Wow, that sucks.
Yeah, mine, I went 2 and 4 last week, and that was tops because Gil went 1 and 5.
Oh, no, I'm only one below Gil. That's not bad.
Close. I beat Lee out. Yes.
Yeah, but it didn't take much, Gil.
But Gil, you ended up 8 wins, 10 losses, so you are under 500.
Oh.
I knew I shouldn't have called in last week. Damn it.
Last week sucked for everybody. Damn.
You guys made me do it.
Nobody held a gun to your head.
Here's the controversy. Chris hasn't picked in a couple of weeks. He's 56 wins, 34 losses, but that's a 62.2.
No. That don't count. It has to be point.
Actually, Mark, I thought I was picking for Chris last week.
Oh,
yeah, that's right.
That's a damn lie. That is a damn lie.
He was picking for Chris because
No, I did not
what it
condone
was.
this.
Yep.
Chris was the no
condone
show.
this.
He, like in work when you have an employee, he was a no call, no show. So
Yeah, I didn't call it.
I was a substitute picker. Now, when you're
Exactly.
school, you get substitute teachers.
Exactly.
I was a substitute picker. Yep.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
Chris,
I don't
I got
like this.
you one win last week.
I don't like
complain.
this. I don't like this. I need an adult.
All right. So, Mark, what
Is
is
this legal? Is this legal?
I think we're going to move on with it.
Good.
Mark, what did you finish with?
Oh, I finished 56 and 46, so
Not bad.
I was 5 behind you, Lee.
Yeah, you were close. You were very close.
What about
5
me?
behind you. Thanks to the 0 and 6.
What about me?
You were tied with me in wins, 56 wins.
Bullshit. I want a recount.
Oh,
Tiebreaker. Hey, tiebreaker for the finals. Tiebreakers on the finals.
You had 12 less losses, though, because you didn't pick for 2 weeks.
My gosh.
if you'd have
I-
been here,
So tiebreaker for the finals. Me and you, Mark, is going to win it against Lee's team and whoever's in the first.
I don't know if we should pick that. I don't even know if my team's going to even show up to bowl. But
What do you mean?
my team's going to even show up to bowl.
What do
But
you mean?
we might offer them a split and see what they say. But I don't know. Peyton was kind of like, just like me and Stephanie in the duo poker league. It's like, do we want to go for the ring or not? So far we're like 50-50.
I feel like they want to go for the ring.
Yeah, I do too. I think they want it. So
They want
Who
it.
is it? It's
Ball
it's the ball farmer. Yeah, they probably would want to go for the ring.
They do.
they won the most money. Our team, we only took third place in the first half. So they ended up winning first in the first half and second in the second half. So they
Wow.
ended up winning the most money.
Wow.
But yeah, I finally got all the money and everything situated between yesterday and today. And so it's all in the envelope. So everything's good. So I don't know. We might be feeling froggy and wanting to bowl them. So we'll see. We'll have to wait and see.
What is it? How much is it a man? Do you know for the final?
For the final, on the sheet, we circled A. So A ended up winning. And it said A was only $78, which is like $26 a man. Well, I ended up upping it because I thought it was like last year where it was $300, but it ended up only being 78. So I upped it to $40 a man. So it's going to be 40. We got $120 in the envelope. It's going to be $40 a man, whoever wins. So we will see who is the champion.
Or we may know as a man, but how much for women? Straight.
Okay, I'm being sexist. $40 a person.
Okay, so sorry.
Technically, it's all men on both teams. So
sorry, Tracy and Teen. I thought it was a discount for you.
so it's $40 for the winner
for individual. So it's $120 for the team. So it's $40 individual.
And does second get anything? No, like the runner-up? No,
nope, nothing. Although we might end up splitting, so it might be $20 a man.
Nah, they won't split with you.
I know. I don't think they will.
I wouldn't. You guys were easy picking last week. Why?
We were. They've got all the advantage going into the last week. So
I don't know. They lowered Lee and them lowered their averages.
we had to sandbag some more. But no, we did not. We just bowled like shit. Although they did. I actually bowled pretty good. I shot 680. I ended up sweeping the bracket, so I was happy. But I got enough change for everybody for their payout. So if they want to join a few games that Joey's going to host, and it should be a fun final week. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be run a little bit more smoother than it was last year, and should be fun.
You collect the money from what Chris owes, wouldn't it?
No.
We got it situated.
Yeah. No, I decided to just say, hey, you know what? It's my money. I was wrongfully accused of something, and I don't have to pay shit. And that I'm actually going to get money from Lee from the prize fund. So half of it actually comes to me.
Yeah, Chris's name was on the check, so he was the one in charge of the money.
So I took a big chunk out to pay myself for the press. And
after all, Chris was president. So
I was president. These are my laws, and so deal with it.
He took money out and took half the money out.
Yep.
For the defense fund?
Yeah.
Yep.
He's got to hire an attorney.
It ain't working right now.
So that would end up being Banned Saga number 17. Any updates? I think Mark may have a little update. Did you talk to Amber, Mark?
No, man. Last week I did, and she said that nothing came back to her. So really, at the end of the day, I don't think anything was ever really filed.
Yeah, I probably agree with you.
And that's why I will be there tomorrow.
You should show up and see what happens. I wonder if they can even enforce that. I don't know. I don't encourage it, but I'm kind of leery at this point about what they've done. But
I kind of wonder, really, what kind of effect does it have on some other bowling establishment? You know what I'm saying? It was between Chris and somebody that was there in the Louisville lanes, but why ban him from some other place? Wait until he pisses somebody off at another place before you ban him there.
And you're saying it was definitely going to happen, huh?
No, I just think, why ban him from bowling up in Denton if this thing occurred in Louisville?
Yeah, I agree. And since we got so many guests with us, what's everybody's mindset on that? Chris has been banned for several months now. They've not called him. They've not said a word. And I'm pretty sure everybody knows the back history and everything. And certainly none of the listeners have heard us go over it the last few weeks. Joe Bear, what would you say? What's your thoughts on this?
How many times do you jerk off to me?
Oh, God.
Oh, that was a good one. I think it's all BS myself. Chris, you can walk in the door and just say hi to everybody and they can't do shit to you.
I'm almost
I might do that. I just might do that.
I'm thinking I'm right there. Chris Saunders, what do you think?
No, anyway, Chris is obviously a really good friend of mine. I know him pretty well, like us all. And I think, somebody was upset and they took it out on him. I'm not sure why, and I don't know why they would ban him across every subsidiary of the company, but yeah.
Yeah.
How things are. Yes, I don't know.
It sucks. Tina, you still there? Is she there?
Yeah, she's still here.
How does she feel about it?
No, Chris is banning.
I'm sad.
Pretty happy?
No. Well, I always like bowling with my husband. And Chris tried to come between us quite a bit with different money.
In more ways than one.
When she tried to get in the middle when he tried to give Chris a man hug.
He did.
So I'm just saying, guys, if I come tomorrow and I go to jail, would y'all all chip in and buy me to bail me out?
Bail you out. No, the more important question is whose signature is going to be on the bailout.
Yeah. I mean, would y'all put together the money to bail me out?
Oh, yeah, that's the easy part. I'm saying who's going to be the signature, though.
Sounds like you've already embezzled it from
the money to my wife.
Yeah, he embezzled it from the fund anyway.
Yeah, just give the money to my wife and then get me out of jail.
So you're saying, well, let's say if your wife's out of town, Mark, if I if I hand you the bailout form, you get to sign it for Chris?
Yeah, John Smith. Neil Brady. I'll sign it Neil Brady.
John Henry would be more appropriate.
Oh, that's great.
Put his John Henry on it.
Exactly. How you feel about Chris's banning?
There's always three versions.
True.
He said, she said, and the truth. So who knows which version is the truth?
And especially there's no incident report,
Mine's the truth.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, that to me is suspect number one, an establishment that has a incident that occurs where somebody gets banned and claiming that there's a threat involved, and yet there's no incident report that happened. Isn't that a little suspicious? A little sus, as the kids like to say.
You know what? I am so dumb. I am
incident report. If there was a threat, then there should be an incident report.
Yeah, most definitely.
I'm so dumb. I didn't even think about this. I have a friend, a long-time friend.
Wait, you have a friend?
Yes, it's a shocker. I know it's a shocker, but he is at Louisville PD, and I'm just gonna text him right now. Say, hey, what are the repercussions of me going to this establishment based on this information?
This is a good question. I can't fault him.
Because if they were to call the cops, it will be him that they're calling because he works in Louisville PD, right down the street from the bowling alley.
Very good point. I'd be interested to hear what he had to say.
So I'm just going to ask him right now.
You should.
I don't like to say this, but Chris is a stand-up guy, right? So they tell him, Chris, you're banned. You are banned from this, facility. Chris goes, okay. And he doesn't test the water. I bet you if Chris would have walked in the door 2 or 3 times, they would have never said anything else to him.
You're right.
Because it's been so long.
I think
it's all bullshit is what I think.
Absolutely fair.
Joe Bear, what kind of drugs are you on? Stirrup guy?
I'm drinking like a 6-pack of 12% beer tonight, so I'm doing pretty good.
So basically, when he get his beer 7, it's like
Yeah. That I take back that first part that I said about.
It's too late now. It's recorded.
Standard
on the air. It's too late now. It's too late now.
Hey,
Don't use that in a court. Don't use that in a court of law against me, please.
I literally already recorded it. So
Well, I seem to think now Gil could get banned.
But you said I might. Yeah, I could probably be banned. I think I'm banned now just for saying that.
Now,
Mark, you're a stand-up guy. Why don't you collect that money Tuesday night for me? So I don't have to come in.
if you're listening to the podcast, guys, there's a chance 80% that will be there Tuesday.
Really? That's
So you're saying there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance. Exactly.
I will be there Tuesday. Bowling? I don't know.
You're
But
more than welcome to bowl with us. You know you can always bowl. You're the president after all.
So I will be there. I mean, 80%, I might be there Tuesday. So
we'll see.
make sure y'all come out.
We'll see. Tracy, how do you feel about this?
Honestly, I don't feel like the punishment fit the crime for sure.
Oh, definitely.
And like you said, there was no incident report, so there's no proof.
Right.
It didn't seem fair.
Shit, I would say there was no crime.
Okay. I mean, guilt. I mean, I guess the law applies differently to Chris. Guilty before innocence.
He was guilty before, anything was.
Guilty. Guilty. As charged.
So if we assess everybody's opinion, it seems like Tina's the only one happy that this happened.
Well, I don't know, Tina. I mean, it did help her husband a bit, I guess.
I mean, it did bring her husband back to her team.
It did, yeah.
Maybe Tina was this whole conspiracy. Oh my God. This explains so much, Chris. Chris, did you know this?
I'm not that Christina.
Wrong Christina. Wrong Christina.
Chris, did you know this? And this is why you've been so mean to me?
Whoa! First off, let's not get into that. Okay. Let's not get into that.
I did buy the shirts for y'all in the summer.
That was just the ploy to make me believe you.
She just didn't think that was going to lead to us being on the same team for like ever,
No, she hated me from the summer. From the summer duo, she hated me.
Remember that first night you guys bowled heads
plotted this whole plan.
It was Chris and Chris against Tina and Camilla.
We were the Purple Cobras.
Yep, the Purple Cobras against the Wives.
She's been plotting this.
Better half. I think
it was planned all the way from
a year ago. We just clued this. It was 1 year ago this week in her room with a pen and paper.
Oh, wow.
On the finale. We got the finale of the Banned Saga.
I have to have my husband back.
You heard it today. Now, Tina had a reasonable opportunity to do this because she wanted her husband back, and the only way to get her husband back is to ban me from all bowling alleys.
She beat
I think you're talking about motive, aren't you?
Yeah, motive. Yeah. Tina had the most motive to win.
She had the Birch team beat you guys though that first week last summer, wasn't it? Tina, they were all 48 up on.
Now we should just do like backflashes of Tina smiling about this, like, "Oh, Chris is banned." A little creek out smiling back. Yeah, it worked.
And Tina, they grew out of those shirts after the second week.
That's true.
Yeah, they strengthened them.
Yeah.
They say the dryer.
It was 100% Colin. I still have mine though. My wife wears it when
they said the dryer did it, but we all know.
My wife wears it.
So does mine. Holy crap! So does mine.
There we go.
Yeah.
Like wrong last name though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, there you go, guys. Now we know who shot JR. All right.
Now we know Tina did it. Tina got me banned. So,
and that's puts the ending to the saga.
Wow, we just solved it, guys. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
That's why you need to go down there tomorrow night and confront her.
Yep.
It's true. It's true. Yep. Could have written a better conclusion though.
I loved it. You got Chris back. You won. At the end of the day, Tina, you won. You won. You did it.
That's almost as bad as when Chris's team was bowling against Mark's team, and it come down to the anchor bowlers, and Ron only could throw a spare, so it come down to Chris only needing a spare to win for his team. And lo and behold, he left a stone 9 pin. And then what happened, Chris?
Nothing.
What? Right.
Exactly. Nothing. He missed. He hit nothing. You win nothing. Good day, sir.
I will say I miss Chris because he has gone fanatic on the poker tournaments and all that, and I wish there was a happy medium of two things to concentrate on this time instead of one.
Yep, sure. But so many memories. That was one of the better memories. I think another great memory was.
I was going to say, Lee, the reason he missed out is he didn't foul.
He didn't foul. Yeah.
I don't ever foul. What are you talking about?
I remember the music stopped
I
playing.
never once fouled.
The whole league was watching it, but he missed the 9-pin. And Mark's team, I think that was one of the first times, maybe the first time that the podcast ever did a live podcast to listen to all the bowlers. So I think that was.
In my defense, I was too cocky on the 9-pin.
It was too much pressure.
No, I was too cocky. I thought I didn't take it seriously. I knew it was an easy pickup, and I was too confident.
And that wasn't the only memorable one. We did a live podcast.
Okay, why is it just me right now? Like, it's just like, am I dying? Am I dying?
Oh,
are we talking about memories of like Chris used to be like this?
Team Titanic went up against. It was Ricky Carlton and Gary and Elena, and then Chris. Come down to Chris in the last frame. All he had to do was spare.
Yeah, and left the Greek church.
He left the Greek church, and the rest is history. So many memories.
Yeah,
that's why he's a saint today.
So many great memories.
And then what about the oral?
Oh yeah, the heavy oral. No, oral. Yeah,
heavy oral.
Yeah.
And there's a chair that when I recorded the chair for like 15 minutes.
Oh my God! So he's got his live, and it was this last summer too. When Leland's team won, he's interviewing everybody. He's got a GoPro, and then he's supposed to interview each team, but for some reason, when he got to Georgia's team, his camera goes into a glitch mode and then just videotapes this random chair. So we hear George's voice in the background, but all you see on the video is the chair. So the running joke is now he's interviewing the chair. Yeah. That was great. That was another funny one.
Or I dressed up as a girl. I lost a bet to Mark, and I dressed up as a female.
Yeah, that was one of the first seasons we ever did. He did put in the wig and skirt, Mark. The only thing, what had happened? What didn't he wear though, Mark?
Yeah, you said I was commando.
Yeah, he went commando.
I think my favorite part that night though was two things. The first was before we started bowling, we ended up as a league bowling next to Chris Barnes, the PB order.
Hated that shit.
Chris Barnes. And I said, well, wouldn't it be great if we introduced the female Chris to Chris Barnes? And so, yeah, we ended up introducing them both. And Chris Barnes is just like, his jaw's on the ground. He's like, okay. And I think he knew Chris from the pro shop because when he worked there, Chris wasn't having
Chris knows he's my idol. I told Chris he's my idol. I based my whole bowling techniques off of Chris Barnes.
Yeah.
And it's very
shirt and wig. And he says, yeah, you're my idol.
Yeah.
Guys, he didn't need a dare to dress like that though.
He did. we bet, and he said, "Oh, I'll do it," and he did it anyway.
No, I did not want to do that.
But that was probably during the time that Chris worked in the pro shop, and him and Camilla were doing extracurricular activities in the pro shop.
That is true, and behind the alley.
Oh man,
and in the parking lot.
And you're surprised you're banned.
Well, yeah, still am. Yeah. Still am. I'm still very surprised.
And then there's that time that Christian showed up with the 4x4 truck. Looked like
that never happened.
Looked like Bigfoot, and then I think Mark walked up and said he saw Chris trying to climb up it.
No, and that never happened.
Yeah, and you
wanted me to.
You did lose a bet. Never paid off on that one.
Chris never came in. Chris never came in.
Yeah, he is a no-show. I don't know what happened to him, but maybe he had to go sell the 4x4 before you could finish your bet. Maybe.
Yeah, probably would have ended it.
Yeah, so many memories. I know we're gonna forget one. I know Rick Connor. I wish he would. I tried to send him an invite to come on, but I know that one thing that he's been doing for several years is sending random dick pics of guys he finds on Google.
so many times.
Yeah.
The last one he sent me last Tuesday was an orgy.
Oh,
You guys.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. What does Camilla say about all that? I wonder what.
Hey, you don't have to worry about trying to show her, Chris. Rick shows her. She seeks him out.
Yeah, Rick shows her. Yeah, Rick shows her.
Oh, that's right. He does. That's right. Well, I bring up Rick because he's one of the first bowlers that gave us this gem where I guess Camilla had gotten so drunk one time and was up at the center and told Rick Connor probably the best thing we ever heard, that
He heard it wrong.
that there was a Coke bottle incident, and
heard
then
it wrong.
he gave more details, but you just use your imagination if Camilla had to have a Coke bottle incident with Chris, and he gave us that little gem there.
Yes, he
That
did.
was a few seasons ago. The Coke bottle incident, I think we can call that. We named our bracket after that too.
I can't believe that. Yeah, I can't believe that was spoken to him of all people.
Of all people, exactly. People are.
One more question.
Yes.
One more question. Whatever happened with Mark interviewing?
Mark interviewing.
Wasn't Mark going to do interviews with each of the bowlers once a week? Pick a different bowler?
Oh,
every week?
yeah.
About that last season.
Yeah.
Mark is supposed to interview each bowler.
That's right.
Mark?
That's right.
Yeah, we started that, and I think we ended it after we interviewed.
Milla, wife.
No, I think maybe Lee's wife. I know we did Mello.
Wow, yeah, I think we did stop that. Well, I guess if my wife had to put a kibosh on something, that'd be it.
Yeah.
I wish she was here to defend herself, but
I can't remember what she said about you though. There was one thing she said about you that was
She said that he's really sweet, but had a rough side of him.
like rough in bed, maybe.
Well, Jennifer said you could be really sweet and really kind and caring, but you have a mean, rough side about you.
I think she meant in bed. I think that's what it was.
Is that true? Can you show us?
No, don't nobody want to see that.
it was kind of like what Chris said. She said you can be an asshole.
Oh yeah, you can be an asshole. Yeah.
But yeah, that's my hidden side. Nobody wants to see that either. But yeah, so we were going to do that. That ended up going through. But trying to think, was there anything else that happened? Because I remember when we first started our podcast, I intended having Mark on, but he was a no-show for the very first episode. And then we had him on as guest the next week. And then I said, you know what, Mark, I wanted you on the whole time. So he ended up joining permanently in episode 3 in the first week.
Yeah,
yeah, and here we are 10 seasons later. We would try to put our seasons right next to mostly towards the half, or I guess you could say thirds, because we have 2 halves in our fall league, and then we got our summer league, which is kind of like 3 months anyway. So basically we just did one season for 2 halves of the fall leagues and one full season of a summer league. That'd be about February of 2022 is when we did our episode 1, season 1, me and Chris. And it was only a half hour long, but yeah, here we are doing our series finale. This is our last one ever. What's going to end up happening now is I'm going to step aside, and I guess I'm making the official statement now. We had been hinting around for a couple weeks what we're going to do. I will be stepping aside. I'm stepping down as secretary, mostly because of the Chris circumstance. Just like Chris Saunders says, we're all good buddies. And for them to do that to my good buddy, I'm just not going to stand idle aside and let them do it. I'm putting in my resignation, and Kyle is going to be taking over, which I'm very happy to announce because I was worried about who would take over. And I wanted somebody who actually wanted to take over and who I thought would do a really good job. And I knew Kyle and Tracy ran their card game, and Kyle was a board member. He was our sergeant of arms for a long time. So he had been somebody who was on the top end of things. And so it worked out great. So Kyle is going to be your new secretary starting for JB Trio Summer, JB Duos, once we start next week. So I will be on as an advisor. So I will help Kyle wherever he needs, and he will be the new one in charge. So it will be on him going forward. And we're going to vote on a new board of directors this summer. And that'll be it. So we're going to, as far as Kyle has said, this could change. I don't know for maybe the summer or the fall on whether or not we stay at AMF Louisville. But again, we'll all be talking with Kyle, and we're going to have elections for who's going to be the new president and vice president and the board members. So that'll be not this Tuesday, but the following Tuesday. So that will begin the new league then.
Yeah, so I just want to say, since you are stepping down, Lee, that you're definitely one of the best secretaries I've ever had in terms of league. You've definitely taken this league to a new level. We were talking about all the memories and stuff we had that's happened throughout the league. And I don't think players really think of other leagues quite like that. And so you've definitely brought a different kind of atmosphere to the bowling alley. And it's definitely the most fun league I've been in my entire bowling career. So I just want to thank you for bringing it to what it is, the memories that we had along the way. And I know you'll still be in the background, but I appreciate all you've done with it since you've taken it over.
I appreciate you saying so, Chris. That means a lot, buddy. I really appreciate it. And you're my good friend. And I know we're still going to be playing poker a lot and bowling a lot. So thank you for saying that. I appreciate it, bud.
Sorry.
It's been long.
Hey, Kyle, can I join your summer duos? Hey, partner.
It could happen. It could happen.
If you can get into the bowling alley, you're welcome to.
Okay.
Look, if I were you, and we moved to Denton, and you showed up at Denton, and they said, "Hey, you're not welcome here." You can say, like, "Why? Show me why I'm not welcome here." I mean, I just want to see how they can ban you from another place.
Might just bring up a wanted poster or some shit. Or
That'd be funny. That's a good point. I don't know what.
If they haul him off, they might bring up his mugshot.
Yeah, depends on pretty.
My mugshot of me grinning like a little creeper, like a Jeffrey Dahmer kind of grin.
Oh, Jesus. I didn't know you were there. Oh.
It's probably time to move up to Denton at some point.
Yeah. Like Bolero?
Yeah, because they don't treat us right down in Louisville anymore, and they try to push us out of the place,
I think people just over 60, they do that too.
Could be. I just want to say it was a real treat of being your secretary and all these new ideas that we come up with as far as doing the podcast and the different games that we ran. I know we did like our big bracket that we did where all the bowlers got in for free, and we did mystery score, which was always fun, calling out numbers every week. And Chris Saunders always winning. He freaking won probably, I'd say maybe 5 or 6. Him and Mike Wang winning the most, clearly winning the most mystery score winnings this season. I think Tina might even agree. But yeah. But so I just want to say that had it not been for all of you bowlers and everybody that listens to the podcast, probably would not have been worth it. This is definitely the hardest part about stepping down, is because I love each and every one of you guys, and it's definitely very tough. But morally, I just couldn't stand aside and let them do what they did to Chris, because I know, Chris is a really good guy. We all love Chris, and he really got the short end of the stick. So I just could not morally continue knowing what they did to him. And again, it may change. We get a phone call out of the blue from Tim Dooley, and he's the guy that's in charge that wrote the letter, maybe clearing the banning. And, who knows, maybe we all come back as Only Dads again, Only Dads Part 2. But
with bigger shirts.
With much bigger shirts, yes, especially if I'm on. But again, I love each and one of you guys, each and every one of you guys, from Gino Clay and his wife and Craig. And, I every single person, Mike Henderson, who I've bowled with, Chris and Tina. I love playing poker with you guys. I love hanging out with you guys. It's so fun. Mark, it's been so much fun. You've made me laugh so many times, bud. Kyle, I can't be more appreciative of you and Tracy taking over this league. I feel good about the whole circumstance, and I know you guys are going to do good. And who knows, you guys may even keep the podcast either going or start with a new season, new name. You guys can even rename the league too. I mean, it's all on you guys, whatever you guys want to do. Joe Bear, thank you for coming on.
Don't name it the Woodman's Memorial. Yeah, the league out of the damn house.
That could be the Woodman's Memorial. We'll have to wait and see. Joe Bear, thank you for coming on and providing us with all the voiceovers that we had in the previous seasons with President Trump and Morgan Freeman. Those were really fun. So, and thank the whole league, just bowling throughout history we've had. I've been here 10 seasons now, from the summer of 2016 when I first took it over from Carl Stoner and Ken Johnson. I remember when they first handed it to me, and it was so overwhelming to just take over. And the ancient system that they use for the perfect secretary system is just so outdated. But I remember sitting down for about 5 to 6 hours trying to figure it out, because they literally said, here you go. And then I had to run away with it on my own. So it was rough. It was really rough the first couple of seasons. And especially that very first night learning the system for the first time, it was really tough. But I'm not going to let that happen to Kyle. Kyle, you've got any help you need, I'm here for you, bud.
Well, that was the first time.
And I appreciate that.
You got it. What's that, Mark?
That was the first time you worked on a computer. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so going forward, I just want to say we're still planning on bowling in the summer. So the first week is not this Tuesday, but the following Tuesday. Kyle and Tracy are great people. You're going to love them just as much. They're going to make it just as fun as we had in the past. So keep signing up, and yeah, hopefully we'll keep the podcast going too. So you never know. Just keep a listen. We'll keep the Facebook pages up. We'll make sure that everybody's well informed.
Not to put the pressure on Kyle, but he's got some big shoes to fill for sure.
Oh, well.
We just appreciate everything you've done for our league.
Oh, I appreciate you, Tracy. Thank you so much for saying so. I appreciate it. You guys were great. But I thank you in particular, Tracy, for making it fun as well with the trophies and everything as well. And I know you're going to be a really tremendous help to Kyle.
I hope so.
I know so.
Y'all would do great.
You know what? That could cause a family squabble now, Lee.
It could. It definitely could. All right, Chris, one final time. Give us the best outro that you got.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and being part of this community that we have established here, doing the podcast and bowling on Tuesday night at 9:00 or 9:30. As if you were a part of the league, you will know that we normally start around 9:20 when we're supposed to start at 9. So, but thank you so much for enduring that and dealing with the lateness and the moving lanes and breaking down. But you don't come to bowl on Tuesday night just to bowl. We come there for the camaraderie, fucking around, the picking on each other, seeing everyone. Because who wants to bowl at 9:00 at night? People work the next day. But I think people just come out just to see faces like Lee, Chris, or Tina, everyone, Rick, of all people. Mark, mess with Mark. All right, because he's about to hit the crack sometimes. Like, he's about to hit it. Right? It's bound to happen. All right. But in all fairness, we all love each other, and we love you for listening to this podcast and being part of it. And we just want to say thank you. Thank you for all the listenings and the minutes you have given us while hearing us rumble on and doing the beat mark picks and the crisp probes, I guess. As we bid you adieu, and we congratulate the Miss Howe and Mr. Howe, Kyle, on the new taking over the league, as we give you many wishes. I hope it grows and continuously grows and strive for greatness. And again, we thank you. And then tune in for nothing. If you don't, you will get banned.
That's a perfect if you don't join. All right, guys. One final thank you to everybody. And again, all the bowlers, all the listeners, everybody that made this podcast possible. I think we're even on a website that Tina found last year saying that we're still in the top 8 of all bowling podcasts. So in closing, I think I want to say that was well worth it, but it wouldn't have been worth it without you bowlers. So thank y'all again. Thank everybody tonight for joining. and having like a round table. So thanks again. I hope everybody has a good night.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Tracy, Kyle, be safe.
You too.
You too.
Take care, guys.
All right, Christy.
Good job. Good night.
Mark, love you, man.
All right, I'll see you Tuesday night, right?
I hope. I hope.
Not in the parking lot, inside the building.
All right, guys, take it easy. We'll see you.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Night,
Have a good one.